Hello students, I am Manoj. So welcome to the third lecture of our high impact series. So in this video, I will be discussing a geography topic which is called as atmospheric river and the related topic bomb cyclone. So let's see what atmospheric river and why it was in use. So you would have heard about California's floods recently. Now the phenomena that was related that caused it is atmospheric river. So as what is atmospheric river? So whenever UPSC asks a question related to geography or environment, one of the most common question is keyword question. Remember this technique. Like, what do you mean by greenwashing? What do you mean by green carbon, brown carbon, gray carbon? Something like that. Similarly, see atmospheric river. Assume that you never heard such a term. Now break the term. Atmospheric river. So river, it's like a river in atmosphere. Just like how a river flows on the land, it's a river in the atmosphere. So how you can't carry river in atmosphere. Atmosphere can't carry such a huge river. So it carries in the form of water vapor or moisture. That in simple terms, that is atmospheric river. So it's not, if you want to properly define it, they are relatively long, narrow bands of the moisture in the atmosphere, just like rivers in the sky. Now, if you want the characteristics of such river, they are approximately 250 to 375 miles wide on the average, and they move with the weather. And the amount of moisture they carry is generally 15 times the volume of Mississippi River, one of the volumiest river in the world. That much amount of moisture they carry. Now, how they generate and what is the science behind the formation? Actually, these atmospheric rivers understanding is being developed still now. Now, generally, they develop over tropical regions. Now, why over tropical regions? You know that tropical regions generally, due to intense heating, warm temperature, it causes ocean vapor to evaporate and rise into the atmosphere. And this rise in the atmosphere is carried out to extratropical regions or mid-latitude regions. In tropics, water rises and move to mid-latitude regions. Yes, this is the path generally followed by the atmospheric river. Now they move with the weather and strong winds with them to carry. Now, obviously, once they are traveling over water, they will reach land surface, right? So once they reach land surfaces, once they make the landfall, the water condenses and get down in the form of rain or snow. So simply, atmospheric river is a river in the sky, and they generally form over tropics because the warm temperature, water rises, and the strong winds helps the weather to move. That is the phenomenon, simple way of atmospheric river phenomenon. Now it is also known as different words: tropical plume, tropical connection, moisture plume, water vapor surge, cloud band. All are the same phenomena, atmospheric river. So this is the science behind atmospheric river. So their origin somewhere in the seas, and because of the strong winds, they move from tropics to extratropics. Once they reach the land, the amount of water vapor they condenses and result in the form of precipitation and snow. So now the recent floods in California is a western state, west coast state, and that's on the west coast. Now because of the Pacific rise of the development of atmospheric river in the Pacific Ocean, the recent floods have resulted huge loss to the Californian state. So what type of rainfall we call such a rainfall? It is an orographic rainfall. Atmospheric results in rivers, they give out the precipitation in the form of orographic rainfall. So orographic rainfall is types of rainfall you would have studied in your static part. So orographic rainfall is one type of rainfall. Whenever there is a barrier, the moist clouds rises and condenses and gives in the form of precipitation and snow. So the regions where precipitation is falling, we call as rain-bearing regions. In the regions, these regions are called as rain shadow regions. In fact, this type of phenomenon is reason for the formation of some of the world deserts. Now comment in the comment box what are the deserts that are resulting because of this rain shadow effect or orographic barrier. Now it is not restricted only to US, it occurs globally. And also it is not restricted only to the west coast of US, it also occurs in the east coast of US also. But the recent phenomena, major phenomena, which we discussed with respect to atmospheric is that is happening across the west coast of US. So it is not just restricted to US, but also globally. And within them, one more important term is Pineapple Express. So Pineapple Express is one type of atmospheric river. So it develops near Hawaii. This region is famous for pineapple. The atmospheric river, it develops here and causes precipitation and snow in the west coast of US. Now, do all atmospheric river causes damage? Not really. Atmospheric rivers has both benefits and limitations. In fact, according to National USS Meteorological Authority, between 30 to 50% of precipitation on US West Coast is because of this few atmospheric river events. So in a way, they are helpful for rainfall in the West Coast. However, it is our recent study has pointed out that annually atmospheric rivers they causes 1.1 billion damage. $1.1 billion damage. And moreover, with change in climatic conditions, they are predicted to grow longer, wider, more intensification of atmospheric rivers may happen. Why? Because of the warming of climates, warming of oceans. So more rise of water. So frequent development of atmospheric river with greater intensity. So everything is interlinked. You can write this part in your main answer whenever climate change related essay or GS3 question asks. You can mention such a unique phenomena, unique point like atmospheric rivers. They may increase and their intensity may increase, causing a lot of damage to the developed country, even to the developed countries like US. For example, you can quote this study. Now, it was also pointed out that they are related to forest fires also. Now, let's see. So generally, a drought is followed by precipitation. Once precipitation comes, there is lush green climatic and lush green ecosystems develops. Now, after this, if it is followed by again a dry period, now these green shoots they turn dry, and they form the raw material for forest fires because they are easily fire prone. So such type of vegetation, dry vegetation, is fire prone. Now, after this forest fires, what is left is barren land. Now, if precipitation results on such a barren land, it would result in mud flow. You would have heard in your static parts, mud flows, mudslides, landslides. So in a way, this atmospheric river is also related to forest fires also. Now, just like how we measure our cyclones, there is a separate scale we measure atmospheric river. One is beneficial and 5 is hazardous. And how it is measured is on the amount of damage they causes. Generally, AR1 and AR2 storm causes less than 1 million. Now, what is the role in water cycle? Just like as I said, there are some benefits and there are some limitations. Now, in water cycle, it is believed that 22% of global runoff is caused by atmospheric river, and also 90% of transport of water north to south is caused by atmospheric rivers. Now, solve this prelims question and answer in the comment box. And recently, there was a study that found that atmospheric river, when combined with bomb cyclone, that would be a deadly combination, resulting loss of money, human life, infrastructure, everything. So let's see what is bomb cyclone. Bomb cyclone is like any other cyclone, but the way we define is changes. Before starting bomb cyclone, we need to know one of the few important terms called as air mass. So air mass is a huge amount of air that is spread over a large part of land. And it has unique characteristics. See, suppose this is some polar area. Now, huge amount of air that is spread over it. This air, it acquires the characteristics of the below ground. So if this is cool, over a period of time, if this air is saturated, if this air is not disturbed and it is just lying there without any disturbance, the characteristics of this land spread over to this air. Such a huge mass of air we call as air mass. And what is the distinction from the other types of masses is they have little horizontal variation in temperature and moisture. Means this huge parcel, from top to bottom vertically, there is little change in temperature and or moisture content. Now, generally, such air masses require homogeneous regions. So on the basis of homogeneous regions, we classify air masses as this: polar air mass, continental air mass, so cold air mass, water air mass. These are some of the air masses. Now, these air masses have a huge role in playing in creation of these bomb cyclones. Now, cold air mass and warm air mass. So warm air mass generally develops over tropical and subtropical regions. In cold air mass, polar and extrapolar regions. Now, you know this air masses are part of global planetary systems, and winds move from equator to polar area to equator. So when such an air mass, says warm air mass, moving from tropical area to extratropical area, and cold air mass moving from polar area to tropics, when they encounter, now you know that cold air mass it will have cold conditions, and and warm air mass would be, it has low pressure and warm temperature. So there is a huge temperature gradient in the sense temperature difference. Now this temperature difference causes large drop in pressure, resulting in storm or cyclone. This is the phenomena behind formation of bomb cyclone. So it's like any other storm. So storm, how actually storm forms? It forms when a mass of low pressure warm air mass meets a high pressure mass cold air mass. So bomb cyclone also form in the same way, but here the mass is warm, moist, low pressure tropical air and cold Arctic air. Because of the intersection of these two different temperature gradient air masses, bomb cyclone forms. So now let's see how bomb cyclones are defined. We define bomb cyclone, how rapidly the pressure drops. You all know that cyclone has some structure like eye wall and development of cloud bands. Similarly, bomb cyclone, at the center of bomb cyclone, there is a rapid drop in the pressure. So we define bomb cyclone on the basis of such rapid drop. So it forms when the air near Earth's surface rises quickly, and there is a triggering sudden drop in the pressure. So what is the figure that is generally quoted is that drop should be at least 24 millibars within 24 hours. Such a rapid drop, such a rapid intensification of cyclone is called as bomb cyclone or bomb cyclogenesis. Okay, so bomb cyclone is like a nuclear cyclone, but we define it how it is forming, how much of the pressure being dropped at the center of the air mass. That in that context, in that way, we define bomb cyclone. Now, why there is a rapid drop? As I said, there is a huge temperature gradient between two air masses, warm air mass and cold air masses. Because of the temperature gradient, the formation of falling of pressure is very high, and the formation of winds is very stronger, so resulting in rapid intensification. This phenomenon is known as bombogenesis. Now, if a question comes in mains, write about bomb cyclones, just you can write this statement. A bomb cyclone is a large, intense, mid-latitude storm that has low pressure at its center and has weather fronts. So fronts form because of this difference in air masses, cold air mass and warm air mass. There develops different types of fronts like cold front, warm front, occluded front, stationary front, which you would have studied in your static part, and is also associated with array of different types of weather like thunderstorms, heavy precipitation. So it's a mid-latitude storm with low pressure, rapid intensification of storm, and the pressure drop is 24 millibars in 24 hours, and associated with weather fronts and different types of weather like thunderstorms to heavy precipitation. And how is it different from the conventional storm, like tropical cyclones? Generally, hurricanes or our cyclones, they are fueled by warm seas. However, our warm cyclone, it's because of the convergence of different air masses, cold air mass and warm air mass. So sea has a little role to play in this formation of bomb cyclones. And moreover, hurricanes are common in summer or early fall, when the sea is the warmest. However, bomb cyclones, they occur during the colder months or winter months because of the cold air, warm air. Now, these are the general impacts. Like any other cyclone, these are impacts like storms, such flooding, wind damage, beach erosion, thunderstorm, heavy precipitation. I hope this video was useful. Thank you.